it's easy to say, should have done this, should have put pressure on, should have thrown more combinations. Also, let's acknowledge the brilliance of Alexander Usyk as well. The feet, the feints, the movement, the aggressive way that he boxed as well. So you've got to give him unbelievable credit. But AJ got it wrong. He tried to box Alexander Usyk. And, even though he was probably told, and even though that most people acknowledge that's not the way to do it, that's the way he chose to do it. And he believed he could outbox him and break him down, and he didn't. It's frustrating because he can box 20 times better than that. And he will. And now the operation is revenge. That's all that matters. That's all he's thinking about. Spoke to him today. Had an hour with him on the phone. He's absolutely... the thing is with AJ, you saw him on Saturday after the fight. The reason that he left the ring after the fight was he's completely exhausted, and I wanted to get his eye looked at as well. But then afterwards, I think generally people thought, look, I don't think you should do the presser. He's had a tough fight, he's knackered, he's seen the doctor, but he wanted to do it again, and he went, and he puts on a brave face. This is sport, you've got to come back from adversity, anyone, stay positive, all this kind of stuff. He's absolutely gutted, devastated that he defeated. Now, you may not see that, but all he's thought about since the final bell, and all he's thinking about probably for the next 6 months, is getting his belts back and beating Alexander Usyk. And today that begins, or yesterday that began. And that operation is underway. He'll be written off, right? It's amazing how you can go from this, unified world heavyweight champ, he's just unbelievable, to he's useless, isn't he, AJ? We've seen it before, he's been through it again, and it's disappointing to not get as much support when he was the one that chose to take on the challenge. If you want, he can take easy fights and he'll never get beat. So I said this before, give him the respect of taking Usyk. He might be pound for pound number one, Usyk. He's certainly pound for pound number two. So, he's got to use that to drive him, and he wants it more than ever. He just got it wrong, and he knows he got it wrong, and he's kicking himself, and he's got to put it right in the rematch.
A common question seems to be, let's just say there's a space of now and 6 months, what can AJ actually do to change his style to be able to beat?
It's not his style. He hasn't got to change his style. He's got to fight with his style. AJ's become a very well-rounded fighter. He can box, he can move, he can punch, the bits that he needed to put in play on Saturday, he didn't. He tried to box and outbox probably the best technical boxer in the world. Not a good idea, right? But that's what he did, and it's over. So he's got to do the things that he used to do and always does, and he's got to do the things that now he knows. He's a very quick learner, and against Andy Ruiz, in the second fight, he put together the perfect game plan to beat Ruiz and executed it to a T. He's got to do that again. But this game plan's not box and move. This plan is go in there and hurt Usyk early and stick it on him. There's no point giving the game plan away. Everyone knows it, don't they? Who didn't say on Saturday, he needed to do this? Or in the rematch, he needs to do this? Now, there's an educated way to do it, but he has that ability now to do that educatedly, not just go in and load up. But he didn't make those, specifically in the first 4 or 5 rounds. They were too low maintenance, for Alexander Usyk. He got through those, and he was able, after 8 rounds, when it was a close fight, to just kick on and win comfortably. That's what Usyk done, and he was absolutely brilliant, Alexander Usyk. But there is so much more from AJ in that fight, so much more. And as I said to him today, you probably couldn't have boxed worse, or with a worse strategy, and you lost 8-4 or 7-5 or whatever it was. So this rematch, I'm telling you now, And whether you think AJ can win the rematch or not, I'm telling you, it will be entirely different, the rematch. Entirely different. And write him off at your peril, because you will see a different Anthony Joshua in this fight. And I'm buzzing for it. And that's our excitement now. The devastation of defeat, and now the excitement of revenge. We've been here before. Now, 3-time heavyweight world champion. That's the new dream. So we'll dream. He'll dream. He'll do his work. Support him or don't. But he's a good man. Get behind him. He's going for it again. And we keep talking about the resume. This is fight number 13 of the tough fights of people he boxed at the time who were tough fights. Dillian Whyte, Charles Martin, Dominic Brazil, Eric Molina, Vladimir Klitschko, Carlos Takam, Joseph Parker, Alexander Povetkin, Andy Ruiz, Kubrat Pulev, Alexander Usyk. That's the run of fights. And it's hard. It's really hard to win these fights, especially against someone as good as Usyk. So now, I'm excited, because that rematch is going to happen early next year. And if he does it, which I believe he can, he's on a whole new level. So the heavyweight landscape just blown up for the meantime, and on we go.
A lot of suggestion as well that there were too many voices in the corner. Can you give your opinion about that? And also, he seems to have had a conversation with Clifton Mitchell before the fight. Can you elaborate on that as well?
I just, in terms of the voices, I haven't watched the fight back to look at what happened in the corner. AJ is a strange one when he goes into the ring, because that's just him. And he's on the ring walk, yes, niggles in camp. Of course, everyone has niggles in camp, especially when you're heavyweight. But he was in a good place going into that fight. Dressing room, ring walk, really relaxed, to the point where he's walking past people. I saw him turn around and give Johnny Fisher's wife a cuddle from Finchley, and other people that he saw, a little cuddle and a high five, and then got in the ring and had a chat with Clifton Mitchell. It's bizarre, to be honest with you, but that's AJ. He's relaxed. It really comes down to, it was just a poor game plan and poor execution of a game plan, or he didn't execute the right game plan. It's not. You can pick. He did this and he did that, and there'll be big changes going into the next fight. Big changes, but it's not to see him high-fiving people and cuddling them on a ring walk and stuff like that. That's just him. It's not for everyone, but when he went in against Vladimir Klitschko, I've never seen anyone so calm. Just stood there during the introductions, But the AJ that beat Vladimir Klitschko, fighting like that, in my opinion, would have beat Alexander Usyk. And that's what he's got to get right in number 2.
Do you know when you say it was, I'm going to use this term very loosely, but blindingly obvious to us armchair fans what he needed to do, etc. But is it a given that that's how we will approach the rematch and not try and outbox him again?
Well, he loves the sport, right? He studies the sport. He's so driven to improve technically in every way that he actually thought, no, I can outbox this guy, And I don't know whether it was almost like a rebellious thing where, no, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna outbox him. Just terrible idea. But but don't forget, Usyk negates things that you want to try and do. So maybe he wanted to be a little bit more aggressive, but wasn't able to at specific times because of the British. I don't want to just say bad game plan, bad performance. You've got to give unbelievable credit to Usyk. He's brilliant, It's not just the case of, right, in a rematch from that first belt, just steam into him, mate, and just let your hands go and but there is an element of that. And he will be looking to take Usyk's head off in the next fight because he knows he can't do it the other way. Not that he doesn't have the ability, it's just Usyk. So watch the fight back. Usyk was hurt a couple of times in that fight, and AJ never really let his hands go with any power. But still, he was hurt to the body, he was stunned to the head, without real shots coming in. So now that Usyk will celebrate as champion, much deserved. What a fighter. He'll go away, he'll do his world tour like Andy Ruiz done, and Josh will just stay in the gym and improve and every day wake up thinking about Alexander Usyk. That's all you can do and look to win a rematch.
When you say there's going to be some changes, do you mean training team-wise? Will he bring anyone in, take anyone out?
I think that's not really something I'll get overly involved with, but I think Josh will look at it and say, where do I need to improve? What do I need to change to beat Usyk? And I'm sure there's things that he knows he needs to change or thinks he has to change, and he'll make those changes. Because you have to be brutal and you have to be honest with yourself and say, okay, maybe I wasn't doing that right, or maybe this wasn't right. And there's always things, when you lose, sometimes you get beaten by the better man, but when you underperform, like he did, there's a reason for that. He has to find that reason.
This one-sided game will get back underway. Can they get even more goals? And he hits it! He couldn't keep that shot down and it's gone flying over.
The 10 seconds came.
Oh, and dispossessed there.
Because I remember hearing the 10, when there's 10 seconds to go. And then...
what a chance! Oh, there from Haaland. And the players have finished celebrating and we're back underway.
Certainly it was 10 seconds after.
What a tackle by Van der
Ven. In trouble here, let's ring the bell. Because it was 10 seconds after the 10 second round. So...
thanks to the captain.
This is what I've read, but from like a Sky broadcast...
players using his pace.
They must have surely known whether that minute run from second one to...
The fans are on their feet.
I've read it.
On the design
oh, it's gone in. The manager will already be pleased with his efforts for the goal. Let's hope for more of the same. Everyone's ready. Play restarts. He's darting forward. Finds his teammate.
Have you even contemplated not taking the
He
lead
did really
at
well
all?
there. Will we see a goal?
Another option.
And Haaland scores.
Firstly, that wouldn't be my decision. Secondly, absolutely no chance. No chance. To do what? I mean, you can't win, can you? If you don't take the rematch, he's a captain. Right? And if he does take the rematch, well, it's a bit...
Let's start again. How will that change things?
Like all these things. You get criticised either way. He wants to win.
He's up to full speed now.
And goes...
And he's one-on-one with the keeper. Oh, and it's in. That goal was his 50th for the club. What an achievement. Well to win the ball back. A great move. He's clean through. Surely a goal is coming. He's done it. What a difference the sub has made. He's scored. And he plays the ball back.
But he's got to do things different. So...
keeper collects.
You wait a lifetime to get a shot at world heavyweight title. Can you imagine how much he'd be frozen
He steps
out
up to steal the ball.
if he didn't? You know, if he, he's got a shot
Surely
at the
now.
world heavyweight title in the palm of his hand.
Leao! He's scored a brace. Misplaced pass. And they could be in trouble here. All that's left is to beat the keeper. A goal for Rashford. That goal, his second of the match. Well put out. They've made the breakthrough. Here's a fantastic chance to score. Oh, it's in. This team will be glad to see the back of this player as he gets his hat-trick. There we have it, goals flying in today from the winning team. They'll be celebrating in style tonight. The captain led by example today. That's why he's the player of the match.
It was quite obvious.